Okay, another thing that I did not share with you guys is this. This, I just finished eating, and this is going to keep going on. Yay. This is going to keep.
That's a product of
the surgery. Yeah,
right.
I didn't do that. So normally, even before I come in with you guys, the time that I can't, imagine being at dinner with me. And then I finish, and we're trying to have conversation. Oh, and this is going to happen. It could be well up for 20 minutes. All right. This happens to me first thing in the morning before I eat or anything, where I could be laying in the bed and then all of a sudden this will start happening, the gas in my stomach, all because I had the sleeve. That's what I'm saying. But no one is standing up saying that to you. Now let's get on with the show. Hey everybody, my name is G Brown, the Lifestyle Changer.
And I'm Frederick Brown, the husband.
Hey, and this is Hanging with the Browns.
Yes.
Okay, I went to my husband and said that I wanted to do this topic where this show is about my gastric bypass surgery. And because I have had the pleasure to run into 2 individuals that plan on having the surgery. And this is, they don't show you, at least I didn't see the people where they spoke against it or just really shared. Everything ends up being, hey, this person had it, and you're looking at the outside physique and making your determination, because all you see is smaller. I understand that's where your brain is right now.
Okay, so in this discussion, let's do this. So just tell me why you did it. Let's start there.
Okay. Number 1, it was the yo-yo going up and down in my weight. I did not have, my mother had some good genes. Y'all hear what I say? Blood pressure was not an issue. Diabetes was not an issue. I was on 0 meds prior to the diet. Now, I tell you what did, but my feet. Oh my God. My feet used to say to me, beep, get up off me. Why are you, yeah, your body will tell you. So when you start having the hip pain, the knee pain, and that's your body saying you too big. But what we'll do is I go to the doctor and say, oh, my hip is bothering me. And then they write you a prescription, right? They'll write you a prescription and then just kind of go from there. But I had tried everything. And then you know that you get comfortable in being married. And you had the tendency, I was married before him, and I was one size when he met me, and then I got bigger, and then when we divorced, well, you know, it wasn't nothing for you to stop eating and lose weight, but the moment that you eat again, you're gonna gain the weight back. And I think that we all, you know, ooh, you can tell they didn't separate it, she looking good, he looking good, you wanna build your muscles and stuff up.
Okay, so you're saying that the reason you did it was because of the pain?
It was you. I'm just kidding.
Okay.
I'm just kidding. It wasn't me. No, it wasn't, because honey, he didn't buy roly-poly at all.
It wasn't me.
No, it was one of those where I got tired of battling with food. And so you have where they're in your ear saying, listen, you can be healthier. You can be this. We know people that had the surgery, they're no longer on diabetes medicine. Their blood pressure is good. Well, I didn't have none of those issues in the beginning. So But all I saw was being smaller.
Right. So you found it difficult to push away from the table, is what you're saying.
No, I can go all day without eating. That was not the big deal. It was eating the wrong food.
Well, we know what it was, but you didn't know what it was at that time.
Right.
So at that time, it was, you felt you had no discipline to not eat. We know now the reason behind it.
See, you keep, all right. Most big people, some of the words that come out of your mouth is, I don't even eat that much.
Yeah.
That is. So you're saying that it's not my plates weren't. Now I can make a plate overflow, but it wasn't that it was overflowing. It wasn't that it was any of those things. It was the time. Okay, so you fry chicken, you got your flour, and you got your vegetable oil. Two things that you shouldn't have.
Well, yeah, okay. We know now what you should and shouldn't do and what was causing it. But let's kind of talk about it from the standpoint of before we knew what we were doing wrong and the reasoning behind what was really happening to you, right? Because that's what the people that we're talking to is experiencing.
I wanted to be smaller.
I want to be smaller.
I mean, it's there you go.
So,
and what I was eating, I don't care if I ate a small amount, a smaller amount. I mean, it didn't matter. The weight you can lose, you get real good. You might even get up to 15 pounds and you can fit something a little better, but just give it 3 months.
Okay.
You didn't gain 30.
All right. So what steps did you take, I would say in the beginning, that either stunted your progress or
I can tell you right now what steps. I never changed my eating habits.
Okay. You tried different diets.
Well, no. In the beginning, you're going to lose weight because, number one, they're going to tell you you can only have liquids for 2 weeks. That's number one.
Because so we're talking about the surgery now.
Yeah.
You're talking about the surgery now. Again, we're not talking about the surgery yet, are we? I thought we were talking about what you were doing leading up to wanting the surgery. And then when you start going through the process of the surgery, then they're going to tell you what you're doing.
Okay, so that's when they have you to sit through a group counseling, I don't know, information, where you get to ask questions and all of that. Well, the first time, of course, matter of fact, I think the first time that we went, and I was listening, and then when they explained the surgery, how they cut your intestines and then make your stomach smaller and then come this way and reattach your intestines, I was like, no. Listen, sometimes common sense has to step in. And with that did not, those organs there, you don't reattach, just
okay. Listen
to it. Oh my God. All right, so I left. I was like,
and during this time we was having this conversation, but keep in mind, I know it's her decision, right? It wasn't me that was having to do this or wanting to do this, and I was still trying to make sure that she knew that I wasn't requiring her to do this. And honestly, I never liked any time that she had to go under the knife because there's not always a guarantee you're gonna come back. So that was never a feeling of mine. I just felt like we just needed to do better in what we were doing to try and figure this thing out. But of course,
okay, things that led up. I would listen to a video, especially if I was walking and talking. 2 things I heard. I heard me heavy breathing, and I heard my thighs rub together. Yeah. And so somebody else might not have heard that, but that's what I heard. And then you can no longer do your own toes. It's difficult because now when you bend over, you got row after row after row, okay? And then you get the sweat up under there. Come on, how uncomfortable do I need to make you feel? I was big. That might not have happened to you, but it most definitely happened to me. And so you get the, I used to call it Mrs. Doubtfire. So when he made that movie and he came out in and you had that fat leaning up over, it was a fat suit for him, but it was a real suit for me. And it's like right up under there, then up under your boobs. You get all of that, and then you can't like reach and scratch. It's so many things big people can't do. And then the thing that I did not want to happen, and it never did, Lord, I thank you, where you cannot properly clean yourself in the bathroom after going. The toilet seats did not grow.
Yeah, and that's not everybody's case, unfortunately.
But normally when you get to that point of wanting that surgery, you can look around the room and you can see, and you know that if you're having those issues, somebody else is too.
Let me ask you this then. Since you went there with this, you didn't get to the point where you couldn't do those things, right? So if there's someone that's watching that maybe is at that point, how would you encourage them to still not go through the process and to say, okay, let's try this first, right?
Perfectly said. Excellent segue. All right. For the surgery, the first 2 weeks before you even have the surgery, you're going to be on a liquid diet. All right. You can't take in any solids whatsoever. The goal is to just, without disrupting your intestines, because they're going to cut it and reroute it. And also with the stomach, because they're getting ready to cut that as well. So for 2 weeks, you can only have liquids. And then here comes surgery. At that point, you don't have anything the day before. And then once you finish, you're not eating right away anyway. So especially for the following 2 weeks, there is, you back to the liquids. You don't want to pop a staple. You don't want to pop any of those things that they have. I just said 4 weeks, right?
Yeah.
Well, if you do the Lions diet for 30 days, that's pretty much almost 4 weeks.
Because you said your 4 weeks is pretty much liquids, right? So if the Lions diet,
you're going to eat
as much as you want to eat anyway.
And eat, and then...
But hold it. Should they be intermittent fasting as well? Doing intermittent fasting as well while they're doing this? Those 30 days?
That would be optimal, but then in the beginning, just eat your meat. But here's the thing. There's a difference in you're going to eat 6 wings. No, I don't want you to do that. I want you to eat your 6 wings, and then I want you to eat bacon and eggs, and then I want you to have a steak. I want you to eat all of that
within the same setting
at the same time.
Right.
Listen to what I just said. 4 to 6 strips of bacon, 4 to 6 scrambled eggs, however you choose your egg, a steak, and 6 wings. Or you can have a cup of broth. Now, we get down to, I've had the surgery. Now, I did not do the bypass. I had what they call a sleeve. So my intestines stayed intact, and they will push the bypass on you. And here's why. They make more money off of one of the surgeries than they do the other. Which one do you think they're going to try and get you to do? Okay. So afterwards, I'll never forget. I told him this the other day. I remember when we went to Panera Bread. And I just meant that, so I tried to order something. There's this thing that they're going to teach you called dumping. That means that the food will hit the stomach, turn around and come right and dump right back out. Your body won't take it.
Yeah.
I've had that surgery now, it's been 10 years. My last dumping was probably 4 or 5 months ago. I took the food in too fast. And I wasn't carnivore at that time, but I took that food in too fast.
And let me interject here, because that was, when she was going through this in the beginning, I would sit in and listen to the doctors when they were talking. And, they kept telling her, you gotta eat slowly. You gotta take your time. Your meal should last about 45 minutes, right? Not her. She will chop. I'm like, baby, you ate that too fast, But she was determined in her mind that she was gonna do.
No, what it was is that 45 minutes your food is cold. Yeah. So I prefer, if they told me this is all I can eat, then I'm just gonna wolf it down in 5 minutes. I prefer 5 minutes of hot food than 45 minutes of cold food that I'm not gonna eat anyway.
Right. So those are some real issues.
But that diet had changed because now I'll eat something cold. All because if I can listen, I even went and bought a baby dish. Hear me out. Where you could pour hot water into the bottom of it, seal it. It warmed the dish, so as my food sat in it, it wouldn't get cold, that I could turn around and eat. I know now, I'm smaller now because of the carnivore diet. Then I got down to 164 pounds after the surgery.
And now you are?
156. But then it'll be less than that because I don't have a scale with us on the road.
Okay.
But yeah, I wake up and it's like, okay, I can't wait to get some fat inside of me. I do the fat portion of the meat first. How crazy is this sounding? I do the fat portion first, and then I'll eat the meat, and then I'm pretty much full after that.
Awesome. But let's do this before we wind down. I want you to give them, for that person that may be looking, and you keep saying give you 30 days. So let's be honest and realistic with them about their expectations after 30 days, if they are really, really large, right? So we expect that once you stop with the processed foods, right? Stop with the sugars, right? That in itself is going to cause you to start losing weight, right? So what we're really trying and hoping that we're able to do is to instill some confidence in you within that 30-day window to continue on with it, right? So that you can start seeing the progress of losing the weight, feeling better, things start getting better, and you can see that, hey, I can do this, right? Would that be your takeaway?
That is. It's one of those where in this community, I know other people, and I don't know. I know one person, bless her heart, and I won't say too much because if I say it, and they ever watch this, they'll know I'm talking about them. I've only met one person that is super, super, super excited about her surgery, but when I watch what she was eating, it's just gonna give her a little moment, because if you don't change that, yeah. Oh, and here's the kicker. I developed high blood pressure after the surgery.
That leads us into pros and cons. Go ahead with that, pros and cons.
Okay, so the pros of having the surgery, I don't have any.
I was going to say, I couldn't think of any either.
I really, really don't. Here's the thing. I lost weight, but I was miserable losing it. Okay? Because I didn't change my eating habits and I threw up. It was just crazy. I really had absolutely no pros about it. I developed hypertension. I mean, literally, my pressure is normally like 107 over 68.
Unreal.
Yeah. Now I'm up in the doctor's office and she said 154 over 90. And I looked, I said, oh, you got to take that again. something ain't right. She said it again. It was like 156 or something. I left there and went straight to my primary care physician. I was like, oh my God, take my blood pressure. Something is not right. And they placed me on meds immediately. And I had been on those meds. I'm off of them now, but I had been on those doggone meds. It was a low dose. And it was like, that was just crazy to me. I said, how other people they're getting rid of, and y'all gave me high blood pressure.
All right, so it sounds like you can't list any pros with me and identify my cons.
I really did not have, when I look, I think if I had did this maybe 4 or 5 months ago, I might have said, well, I did lose some weight. I would say that. But now I've lost even more and constantly dropping, plus eating.
And feeling better.
And feeling good, and all of that. I no longer have a pro in regards to it. Here's a pro for the doctor. He was probably able to buy a new car or something.
Or pay it off.
Or pay it off, yeah. And now I'm walking around still today with issues.
Lifelong issues. That's one of those things we can't correct. One of the things I think I said in the beginning, right? There is a point where the carnivore diet won't be able to correct. The carnivore diet can't bring her functionality of her stomach back into play here. It can't do it, right? So that's why it's imperative that you really, really listen, because trust me, when those doctors are talking to you, they're not going to tell you everything, right? You'll start learning more. They'll start asking more questions afterwards, and then you'll find, well, you didn't say this in the beginning. No, he didn't even say it in the beginning. He's not going to say or do anything to try and deter you from going through this process. So please, it's important to listen to people that have gone through the process. Even though that everyone is different and may not experience the same issues, but trust me, if you listen to what my wife is saying and what she's and some of her regrets about the process and how it's impacting her now, I think you would understand and really be able to relate that if you try this carnivore diet and see its progress in 30 days and continue with it and start seeing an improvement, it'll deter you from wanting to go through this whole process. And that's her goal. She doesn't want anybody else to suffer what she's going through.
Yeah, you can do it on your own.
Yeah,
and it's
absolutely.
like, and listen, I know that when you've made your mind up, oh God, I know that feeling. It's like, listen, you're asking me to do one more thing.
Yeah.
Start researching carnivore diet. Don't just listen to me.
Listen to
others.
Listen
to doctors. Listen to people who have just come on and say, bam, this is what it is. So we are on this road. He doesn't have a gallbladder, and I have a reduced size stomach.
Yeah.
And when I sit and I believe that I would probably be smaller if I had a larger stomach, because I can take in more fat.
Absolutely.
Which would just turn around and help me on my energy and just everything.
Yeah.
Yeah, so I'm like, watch this here. You are not supposed to have any sodas. So if you were in love with sodas and all of that other stuff, that carbonation is going to, I have not had a soda in all these years. He had a club soda. And this is how I taste it. I put my tongue on it and just get it on that's it. Anything beyond that, the pain.
Yeah.
And you're going to do that the rest of your life when you could actually eat for the rest of your life some good food. How great can you cook?
Eat to satiety.
Yeah. You just go on, baby. You got it.
That's a tongue twist with me sometimes.
It is. I just refuse to say it. But I'm just saying, so listen. Oh, God. I cannot say enough, because they don't have enough people with this version of the story trying to say to you, because I would remove money from their pockets. Yeah. I'm saying, bruh, sis, you can do this. Eat the food. The goal is to get to one huge meal a day.
Yes.
That's the goal.
That's the goal.
All right. But if you have to start, 2, 3, but there's no snacking. If you don't have time to go in there and cook, don't eat.
That's good.
It really is. All right. Because there's a method to this madness, and oh my goodness. And even when I was prior to the carnivore diet, I was vegan. So why wasn't I skinny on that one? Still eating the wrong foods, and they have introduced so much processed food over into the vegan diet. But now
you eat as much as you want, as much as your body allows you to be able to eat. You're feeling good, you're looking good, you look like $1 million to me, right?
Let me tell you what's funny, but what I have noticed in regards to you, because of my eating habits, he's afraid to throw something away. So I might have like a piece this big, I'll sit it on the counter because I'm coming back to it. I'll come back, I'm like, where's my stuff? He said, I didn't think you were going to eat that. Yes, I was going to eat that because I can't eat it now. Yeah. I can't. I didn't want to put it in the refrigerator. I knew I just needed to wait 30, 40 minutes and then I could. So if you have any questions, if you're thinking about doing this, reach out to me. Reach out to me. If we got to go step by step on this carnivore diet, let's just do that. But in the meantime, continue to speak what you seek until you see what you see it. I speak, we're going to see you. I speak, you're going to subscribe.
Like and share.
Yes. So go right ahead. Leave us a comment. But I'm talking so you got time to look, flip up, go over, hit subscribe because we need it. Yes. Signing